The first time Ms. Riley walked into room 107, the classroom buzzed with low laughter and sideways glances. She looked too soft, too kind, and far too young to handle the toughest class in West Grove High. Her soft voice and gentle smile only added fuel to the fire. In the eyes of the students, she was an easy target. They didn't know she was a Taekwondo black belt. At just 26, Ms. Riley had finally landed her first full-time teaching job after years of substitute work and tutoring. She loved literature, wore floral blouses, and drank peppermint tea. She spoke with a quiet calmness that made even the most hardened administrators wonder if she'd last the semester. Her class was filled with students known for breaking teachers, mocking authority, and doing everything they could to push limits. Among them were 3 students who had become the unofficial leaders of the chaos: Zane, Marcus, and Leah. They weren't just rude. They were sharp-tongued, clever, and had a reputation for making grown adults walk out of the classroom. On her first day, Ms. Riley greeted everyone warmly and wrote her name on the board in loopy handwriting. Zane mumbled, "Miss Rainbow over here thinks she's gonna last the week." The class chuckled. She just smiled. Instead of clapping back or trying to assert control with threats, she kept teaching. Calmly. Softly. Gracefully. But the softer she was, the more they pushed. They hit her markers. Changed her PowerPoint slides when she wasn't looking. Played sound effects from their phones when she spoke. Marcus once snapped a pencil loudly every time she said the word theme. Leah mocked her clothes, whispering insults just loud enough for others to hear but low enough to avoid consequences. Ms. Riley didn't report them. She didn't yell. She kept teaching, kept smiling, and stayed composed. But things escalated. One afternoon, while she stepped out to take a call from the front office, Zane and his crew locked the classroom door from the inside and wrote insults about her on the whiteboard. They drew cartoons mocking her appearance and labeled her Miss Weak. When she returned and found the mess, the class burst into laughter, expecting her to finally break down, yell, cry, or storm out like others had. But she didn't. She quietly wiped the board clean. Then turned around and said, "I'd like to invite you all to the gym after school today. It's part of a new classroom bonding initiative. Attendance is optional, but recommended." They didn't know what to expect. Some thought it would be a lecture. Others thought maybe she'd bring in a counselor. But curiosity got the better of them. That afternoon, more than half the class showed up at the gym, snickering and recording videos on their phones just in case something funny happened. When Ms. Riley entered the gym in a full Taekwondo uniform, with a black belt tied tightly around her waist, the snickering stopped cold. She looked different, focused, grounded, powerful. "I wasn't always a teacher," she said. "Before this, I trained in Taekwondo for over 10 years. I hold 2 black belts. And today, I'm here to teach you something I never planned to: discipline, respect, and the strength of silence." She gestured toward a set of pads and targets set up at the center of the gym. Zane, now trying to look cool, stepped forward. "So, you're gonna break a board and expect us to behave?" "No," she replied. "I'm going to teach you how not to break people." In the demonstration that followed, she moved with grace, speed, and precision. She broke a stack of boards with a single kick. She demonstrated evasive techniques and controlled takedowns. At one point, she asked Marcus to try and grab her wrist. Within seconds, he was flipped onto a mat, safely, but firmly. The entire class stood in stunned silence. "You mocked what you didn't understand," she said softly, "because you assumed kindness was weakness. You assumed a soft voice meant no power. But strength is not about volume. It's about control. And every day I walked into that room, I exercised more strength than you can imagine." Leah looked down, visibly shaken. Zane couldn't meet her eyes. Marcus muttered, "I didn't know." "I know," she said. "But now you do. So what will you do with that knowledge?" The next morning, the class was different. The jokes stopped. Phones stayed in backpacks. For the first time, Zane raised his hand to answer a question without sarcasm. Leah apologized in front of everyone. Marcus stayed after class to ask about discipline and how to sign up for self-defense classes. Over time, room 107 became the most respectful classroom in the building. Ms. Riley didn't just earn their attention, she earned their respect. Not because she humiliated anyone. Not because she punished them. But because she showed them the kind of strength that doesn't yell, doesn't hit, and doesn't break, it inspires. By the end of the semester, students who once mocked her now wrote about her in essays as their biggest role model. Because in a world that glorifies loudness, Ms. Riley proved that the quietest voices sometimes carry the strongest message. And one kick was all it took to knock the ignorance out of them.